UFC 328, Strickland vs. CHIMAEV is going down this Saturday, and these are my predictions over the entire card. I'm hyped. This is gonna be a great card. I really do feel like the fights should put out on this card. Hopefully they do. Let's get straight into it. Early prelim opener. We got Clayton Carpenter versus Jose Ochoa. I think I'm gonna go Jose on this one. He's got decent power in his hands. I could see him just tagging up Clayton Carpenter, but I think it's gonna be a decision win. He does have all right grappling, but his power is definitely in his hands, I believe. He just seems a lot more scrappy. I don't really know how else to explain my pick on this one, but Ochoa, he just seems more scrappy. I feel like he's just gonna go out there and not want to lose more, So I will be taking him to win this fight by decision. Next up the card, we have Baysangur Sursukayev versus Desjordan Santos. Sursukayev trains with Kamzat. I'm going to take him to win this one. Santos just isn't... He's not like he doesn't have the wow. Like, damn, this guy is solid, Sursukayev could get fraud checked in this one. There is a chance. There is a chance that Sursukayev, as he's kind of just feeling himself on the feet, he just gets clipped and put away. I just don't think it's gonna happen. So I will be taking Sursukayev to win this one. I don't think he's gonna get the finish though. Santos is tough, so I'm gonna take him to win by decision also. He might go out there and sub Santos, but I just don't see that happening. The same way I don't see Santos knocking out Sursukayev, I don't see Sursukayev knocking out or submitting Santos. So I think it's going to go to a bit of a boring decision. Sursukayev's way, though. Next up the card, we have Pat Sabatini versus William Gomi. I'm going to be taking Pat Sabatini to win this fight. I just don't like William Gomi, I don't think he's that good overall. Sabatini's grappling is much, much higher level. He doesn't really have a whole lot of finishing potential, in my opinion. So I think it's going to be just a very grapple-heavy, boring fight for Sabatini. But he will get the win. It will be dominant, but it's like, it'll be boring. That's really all there is to it in this one. I don't think Gomi has the power to just starch him. I don't think Gomi's Diego Lopez level. So, I will be taking Sabatini to win this fight. Next up the card. Last early prelim. We got Roman Kopylov versus Marco Tulio. This is a tough one. Tulio is good. I think Kopylov fought better opponents. I think he's done better in his losses, if that kind of makes sense. I believe he took so he took RoboCop to a decision. So he is very striking smart, I guess you could say. If he does get backed up to the fence, it could be an issue. If he gets up to the fence, he kind of tends to shell up and take shots, and then it kind of falls apart from there. I don't I don't think Tulio's gonna be able to get this one done. I think Kopilov's gonna be too much. You know, he fought Costa. That was a decent fight. Costa won. It wasn't a decent fight. I'll take that back. But I mean, Costa just knocked out the guy who should probably have been fighting for the light heavyweight belt in his first fight up at light heavyweight. You know, lighter man skill, whatever. But Costa is solid. You know, is the point I'm trying to make. Costa does have finishing potential. He hasn't in a few fights. His last one though showed everyone that he still got it. Um, I'm almost starting to think, you know, is Kopylov the reason that Costa didn't get a finish in that fight? I don't know. Call it delusion, but I'm gonna take Kopylov to win this one. That's the last one on the early prelims. On to the regular prelims. We got Jim Miller versus Jared Gordon opening up the prelims. I'm gonna go with Jared Gordon. Jim Miller used to be very dangerous. Jim Miller used to be a dog. I think Father's Time's catching up to him, or has caught up to him. Don't get me wrong, Jared Gordon is old too. This is two unks fighting in the backyard, you know. Jim Miller could potentially get a sub. You know, I could see him getting dropped, and then Gordon following up, and Miller, you know, fluking something, tossing something up, and Gordon throws himself into a submission, basically. I just don't really see that happening. You know, it could, but I think Gordon's gonna be smart enough to stay away from the submissions, and probably just keep it on the feet, win a decision. Yeah, two unks just scrapping it out, starting off the prelims. Jared Gordon's gonna win it though. Next up, we got Grant Dawson versus Matus Rebecki. Oof. This is another tough one. Rebecki was very good at stuffing Oralbai's takedowns. That's kind of what's making me hesitant, because I'm going to take Dawson, but he's a very grapple heavy guy, you know? Rebecki is kind of dangerous on the feet, you know? He does have good striking. I think Dawson's going to be able to get him up against the fence, get his takedowns, and then control him from there. Rebecki, this is a tough fight. I think I'm done explaining myself. I'm giving you my pick. It's Grant Dawson. Next up, we have Yoel Alvarez versus Yaroslav Amosov. Oh boy. I see a lot of people taking the Alvarez under, or not under money line, underdog money line. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think he's much better on the feet. He's not a slouch on the ground. Alvarez is gonna be looking to take him down and get the sub. He's just kind of like a small guy. You know, he's 6'2" versus 6 foot, but like, when you saw him, I don't know if you guys saw the video of him and Armon running into each other. He just didn't look like a big 170, you know? I think Amosov's a true 170. I think he's, he's got that trench warfare background now after winning the belt in Bellator. lost it by KO. I don't think Alvarez is gonna starch him. So I will be taking Amosov to win this fight. Could be a finish. I think he could probably knock out Alvarez, get the TKO mid to late third round, but I think it's probably just going to be a very dominant decision. Next up the card, we got Atiba Gautier versus Ozzy Diaz. When are we gonna give Atiba Gautier someone that's like good at fighting, you know? I do not see any way that this could go to Ozzy Diaz unless Gautier just gasses himself out in the first and Diaz survives it. You know, just this type of build it's very 50-50 on if they're gonna be able to survive shots or not. You know what I mean? It is very 50-50. Some guys with this type of build, you know, they're a little more flabby. They're just tanks. They can eat anything you throw at them. But then a lot of times guys with this type of build, they cannot take shots. So I'm curious to find out what type of guy Ozzy Diaz is. I will be taking Atiba Gautier to win this. As a fellow Catman, gotta rock with him. I do think he's being just gifted highlight reels, you know, or attempted to be gifted highlight reels. So I don't really know what's going on there, but I will be taking him to win this fight. On to the main card. We got Bobby Green versus Jeremy Stephens. I'm taking Bobby Green. I mean, he looked good in his last fight. If you look at who he's lost to, he's only losing to, like, solid competition, you know? Roofy. Who else? Pimblett. Let's see here. And so forth. And so on and so forth. You know what I mean? But he is losing to, like, top guys in the division right now. Not top guys in the division right now. I'm just kind of digging myself in a hole with this whole argument, I guess. But what I'm trying to say is, Jeremy Stephens gets signed to lose. He got signed to fight Mason Jones. Lost. Yeah, I will be taking Bobby Green to win this fight. Jeremy Stephens could just catch his chin, I guess. I just don't see that happening. You know, when Bobby Green fights someone who's not a very high level guy, very well-rounded guy, he wins. And so I'm going to follow that trend and take him to win this fight. On to a fight that I'm really looking forward to. We got Sean Brady fighting Joaquin Buckley. I will be taking Buck to get this one done. I've seen it said a couple of times. These guys really just have the perfect style to fight each other, I guess. Or not necessarily to fight each other, but they have the perfect styles for us to see who wins. A striker or more of a grappler. I wouldn't necessarily say wrestler. He doesn't quite got the dog in him, you know. He's more of a jiu-jitsu guy, but a high-level grappler. I will be taking Buck to win, though. If you're getting TKO'd by Bilal, I don't think you're going to be able to survive in there with Buck. He is a very strong, powerful guy. He does have all right takedown defense also. You know, the Kamaru Usman fights, that one's a bit of a catch-22. Kamaru Usman is old and he has no knees. But I mean, he was a dog of a wrestler. Very, very high level wrestler. So I could see how he was able to get Buckley down, you know, and control that fight. I don't think Sean Brady's going to be able to do that in this one. You know, we've seen it. We've seen it in fights against Bilal. He got TKO'd standing up against the fence. And then Morales, belt to ass, just put him. You know? If he cannot get the takedown, good luck. You know, he needs to get the fight to the ground, and if that does not happen, he is a victim. So I will be taking Buck to get this one done. Next up, this is a tough fight. We got the feature fight of the main card. This is a tough one to me. All right. Waldo is solid, for sure. Very, very solid. He's definitely got KO power. I think Volkov gets it done, though. I think Volkov has some clean boxing. He does have alright jiu-jitsu. The last time he's been TKO'd was 2018 or 2019. It's whenever he fought Derek Lewis. And that was literally the last 11 seconds of the fight. So he was gassed the fuck out. And then he got, you know, mouth open, breathing heavy, and then he got clipped and put away. I don't think Waldo's going to be able to put pace on him like that. Or not even necessarily put pace on him like that. I just don't think Waldo's going to be able to... I don't think Waldo's going to be able to do that. I might have to eat my words here, but Volkov has a solid chin. Like I said, he's very solid all around. He is a well-rounded fighter. So I will be taking him to win this fight. I could see it by sub. I could see him going out there and just getting the sub. But probably decision. He's probably going to stay on the outside, you know. Use his length, use his height a little bit, and stay on the outside. Try and definitely stay away from the big shots. But I think he gets it done. Alexander Volkov. Ooh, baby. On to the co-main event. We got Joshua Van versus Tatsuro Taira. Joshua Van is going to get his very first title defense. Sorry. I'm sorry the news has to come from me. But he's going to win this fight. Tatsuro Taira is solid, but he does not have a stand-up game. Josh Van is very, very good at defending takedowns. You know, getting that front headlock, sprawling, getting his hips back. He's just solid at defending the takedowns. And when he does get taken down, he's solid at popping right back up. Not letting the guy who got the takedown work and get solid top position. He just... I don't know what the fuck just happened. Are we good? You know, Josh Van, fuck, what was I saying? I don't even know. Computer fucked me up. Computer messed me up. Sorry. Josh Van's just solid. He's got great takedown defense. That's what it was. He's got great takedown defense, and when he does get taken down, he has the ability just to spring right back up. You know, he doesn't let the top position guy get solid position. He just doesn't let that happen. Tyra is very good at taking the back. So if Van has to use the fence in his favor in this fight, I think. But like I was saying before, Tyra doesn't have the best hands. He does not have good kicks. He's not good at striking. You know, he can survive for sure, but he's not Josh Van level. And once Josh Van stuffs the takedown and it's up on the feet for 20-30 second exchanges, I think Van's going to hurt Tyra. And I think that's really all he needs to do is stuff a couple of takedowns, and he's going to be able to hurt Tyra enough to either end this fight or make the takedowns null. You know, I just don't really see Tyra winning this fight. He is very, very solid. I'm not trying to take away from his level of competition, I guess, towards Josh Van. I don't know, man. Call me a Josh Van Glazer, I guess. This guy is going to win. And I think he beats Tyra. They give Pantoja a rematch. Hey, man. I'll make you wait for that one to come out. But I will be taking Josh Van to win this one. Next up the card, we have the main event of the evening. Khamzat Chimaev versus Sean Strickland. You know, Sean Strickland is going to pull off the upset of a lifetime for the second time in his career. I do not like Khamzat, and that might make me biased, and that might be part of the reason that I'm choosing Sean Strickland. But I've seen it before, you know. I've seen everybody saying, "Oh, this guy has zero shot. There's no way this guy wins the title." And then what's he do? He goes out there and wins the fucking title. You know what I mean? I just don't. He is brash. He definitely says some controversial stuff. Once you start looking at his fights, he has a solid record. 30-7 is a solid record. You know what I mean? Two of those losses are to Alex Pereira and Kamaru Usman. Those are, you know what I mean? That's a solid record. I think he's gonna get this one done. He has solid wrestling. We've seen it in the Fluffy. Granted, it was Fluffy Hernandez. A totally different animal than Khamzat Chimaev. But we've seen it before. Strickland has solid wrestling. He has great takedown defense, great defensive wrestling. He can get out of bad situations. He's calm. He doesn't panic. They've trained. He knows what everyone knows what Khamzat's going to do. But Strickland really actually knows what Khamzat's going to do. You know what I mean? Obviously, Khamzat's, I subbed him in training, or I subbed him in sparring, whatever. Strickland obviously came out, said they were starting in, worse positions or bad positions, and that's how he got one over on him. Whatever. Shit happens. It is training. But, man, I think Strickland wins it. I think he gets this one done. Come back Sunday. Come back Sunday morning. Saturday night even. And tell me what you thought, because I know what type of performance Strickland's going to put on. I know what type of performance Strickland's able to put on. And I think that's the performance he's going to put on. So, I think he wins his belt back. Two-time middleweight champ, Sean Strickland, wins his belt back. Yeah, if Chimaev can't get the takedowns, he's gonna get the takedowns. He's gonna get at least, my over-under's 3.5. All right, I think he's gonna get under 3.5, but I think it's gonna be over 2.5. So do the math on that one. I think Strickland's gonna be able to get up. I think he's gonna probably steal the third round. You know, look at his fights. He gasses people out. It is tiring to fight Strickland. He's got a weird style. You know, when you're not used to that type of fighter, it's just weird to fight them. You know, it's out of the ordinary, gasses you out so much quicker than you would expect. And Strickland is out of the ordinary. I think he's probably going to steal the third. And then I think he gets a finish in the 5th round. I think 4th round he really starts to break Chimaev. I think he stuffs all the takedowns. Chimaev starts getting emotional, starts trying to strike. And I think Strickland really opens up and just exposes the holes in Chimaev's game. He's a big, strong guy. I'm not trying to take away anything from that. But Strickland's got a solid chin, you know. Pereira knocked him out. I'm trying to think of who else has TKO'd Strickland. Not many people, you know. But yeah, I will be taking Sean Strickland to win this fight. Late round TKO. Or, hey, little secret between you and me. Strickland by sub is crazy odds. Something to look out for. Just something. Could you imagine? First round, Chimaev shoots in, Strickland just fucking goes for a heel hook. Could you imagine how crazy that'd be? Just rips his fucking ankle off. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That would be amazing. Probably not going to happen, but that would be amazing. Thank you for watching the video. Those have been my picks for UFC 328, Strickland vs. Chimaev, going down this Saturday. This has been Wheezy MMA. I'm Wheezy, and I'm out. Have a good one.